Testing, testing, testing the value. Cool. Yep. Cool. Welcome in, everyone, to Media Day here at the 2023 Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. Alex Gruskin here. We are thrilled to be back for our third year, but of course it's the fourth year of this exhibition event in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. That's right, I'm a veteran. I know it's not Reading. No, we are in Wyomissing, Site 2. Again, what is always a spectacular weekend of tennis. There are few venues more beautiful than the M-Key Tennis Garden, few tournament directors that I enjoy speaking with more than the man on my left, joining us to kick off Media Day. Of course, he's now a returning champion here on our Cracked Rackets channel. You, of course, know him as our tournament director, Ryan Nahr. Ryan, first and foremost, thank you for having our Cracked Rackets team back. How are you doing today? You excited for another fun weekend?
Can't wait, Alex. We have the players are here. Cracked Rackets is here. Our special guests are here. And we have some beautiful weather and some great tennis for great causes this weekend for the Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge.
Yeah, no, again, it's great to be back, and we've been so fortunate to have the opportunity to be here for these 6-person events. And it is crazy. You look over the years, again, the fields we've had, the Chris Eubanks of the world, the Ty Kwiatkowskis of the world, the Hugo Gastones of the world. For those who haven't tuned in before, what is it about this event that you think draws in these names? And again, talk to me about a little bit about the 2023 edition.
I think the word that comes to mind, Alex, is opportunity.
Sure. Opportunity.
These guys that you see now, Chris Eubanks, Wimbledon quarterfinalist, Ty Kwiatkowski, a former NCAA champion, Hugo Gaston, top 60 in the world, number 60 last year when he came here. It gives them the opportunity to prepare for the U.S. Open, whether that's qualifying, whether that's main draw, Dennis Kudla in years past. These guys have a great chance here in a very intimate and personable environment and comfortable environment where they can come with their teams, with their families, and prepare for the last slam of the year at the U.S. Open. And the people around Berks County can't be more excited. We have record number of ticket sales this year, and we have 2 amazing causes, most of all, that we're going to be playing tennis for this weekend.
Yeah, no, and again, you can see behind us the list of sponsors. I can tell you all that list grows each and every season. It's a testament to what you guys do. And, you know, you mentioned the causes. Talk to me a little bit about that, but talk to me how you get so many fantastic people from around this Berks County community to buy into an event like this.
Absolutely. Obviously, the cause is the core tennis program with the Reading Recreation Commission back another year, year 2. For the inner city youth players, the underserved youth, creating scholarships. Obviously, last year, 20 scholarships for kids to play over the last year were raised, so several $1,000s with that. And this year, a very special cause, I think near and dear, really taking our community and taking the Antietam tennis program under our wing. Devastating flood about 3-4 weeks ago, took out their entire school, their tennis courts, all their equipment. And that's what we do here in this community, in the tennis community. If somebody, you know, has an issue or a problem or is down in their luck or something occurs, we give everybody the opportunity to come and help out and get them back on their feet. And that's what we're doing here with Antietam. We have some great initiatives, a portion of the proceeds from the event overall. We had the junior clinic last night at Hamden Park presented by Didem. And then also the Aces for Antietam, which every ace hit during this tournament by a professional player, the Berks County Tennis Association will donate $10 to the Antietam Tennis Flood Relief Fund, and that will also be matched then by USTA Middle States for an additional $10 up to $1,000. So really excited. You're going to hear from Coach Bill McLean. Has done a great job building that program, and you know, this is certainly a setback, but I think it's something that puts tennis and their program in the spotlight, and I think they're going to really be better off, you know, in the long run because of it, you know, fighting through adversity. And I think their school kind of mantra is the mounts climb together, the Mountaineers. So we're going to help them climb. We're going to get them back on that summit.
I love to hear that. Yeah, I've talked to the players already. If for some reason every opening service game's 40 love with 4 aces, that would be why, folks. If you're tuning in, we might be rigging the system a little bit. But, you know, last few questions, 'cause I know you have to go tournament direct. We're back at the Emke Tennis Garden. 4th year, the Emkes have obviously provided this sort of place, this sort of atmosphere for this event. Talk to me again about what the Emke family means to this tennis community.
This is an extra special year for Berks County Tennis and the Emke family. This is the 50th year of the Emke Tennis Garden. This is the anniversary.
Isn't it?
We have it on the hats. We have it on the programs. We have some special things that we're going to do throughout the weekend. It started out as a clay court in 1973, and just like the U.S. Open evolved into a hard court. They were also inducted as a family, the second family ever inducted into the Berks County Tennis Hall of Fame back in June at Hits for Hope. Huge opportunity to showcase what they have meant to this community. Few families and few individuals have done, you know, next to near what the Emkes have, and just an unbelievable testament to them and what they've meant to this community. And we also have lights this year.
Yeah,
the Tweener lighting system. We got them on board. Nick Schultz, the whole team from Tweener here, and we hope to do that every year. Hopefully that's something that we can showcase. We did the Vaptor 2 years ago. We did the line calling device last year, and it's about giving companies in the industry an opportunity to showcase something that maybe it hasn't been out there at the ATP level yet, to give them the chance to showcase that here. And we're excited to have Tweener on board. So a lot of cool things going on, anniversaries, Hall of Fames, great tennis. You can come out, newcobrands.com if you want to get tickets. They're selling fast Friday night, and Saturday.
Yeah, no, you beat me to it. I was going to say we've obviously got a fantastic weekend of tennis ahead. It's round robin play for those that don't know. 2 groups of 3. We'll play all that group play action tomorrow. We'll have semifinals, finals for you all on Saturday. All of that available, of course, on our Cracked Rackets YouTube channel, and all of that available, of course, because of the tireless effort of our tournament director, Ryan Nari. You all don't see what happens behind the scenes to make an event like this possible. It's a lot of Ryan scrambling, I promise. And so, again, Ryan, we always appreciate the chance to be here, and I appreciate you kicking off Media Day.
Very good. Thanks, Alex. And we got a great lineup of sponsors, players, all for the next hour here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only going to get better from here. So, again, Ryan Nari, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, here we are.
Unfortunately, you're not getting. But can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you'll just have to hear it. Welcome back in, everyone. Media Day rocks and rolls here at the 2023 Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge, and I am here with one of our players competing in this weekend's action. You all know him as the current world number 163. It's 22-year-old Filip Misalic. Filip, first of all, I know we missed it. Happy belated birthday to you. I know it wasn't too long ago. How are you doing? What brings you here to this event?
Yeah, first of all, here it's very beautiful, and first of all, I think it's a very good preparation for the US Open next week, and also the most important thing is to focus on tennis and try to have fun with the players and everyone here. So that's the main goal here, and I'm excited to play tomorrow here.
Now, well, we're excited to have you here, and you mentioned the US Open's on the horizon. You're not a guy who plays a ton of hard court events, at least as it relates to the Pro Tour. I was looking it up before we did this interview. I mean, was getting these matches under your belts here on the hard courts, how important was that? How much hard court tennis have you played of late?
Yeah, in the whole year I don't play many hard court tournaments, so I think such a preparation for the US Open, I think that's great for me, and I can try things on hard court that I can train on clay. So for me it's a huge help here to play on this, and so I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully I will get a better feeling for the US Open.
Yeah, I'm curious how you're feeling about your game right now. I know you were in Umag, you were in Kitzbühel, you got to enjoy the July clay court stretch. Obviously you have some pretty good memories making a final there a couple of years ago, but what do you think about this season? How do you feel about your level right now?
I think it's going good. I'm playing better and better. Sometimes the results are not how we wish they were, but we always try to work on the game, that the game is going like up, even if the results are not here. So that's the main goal where we are focused, and so I think the year so far it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about that. I believe there's at least one challenger final, if not title, for you this season. And I'm curious because right now you're in that spot, top 175. Do I go play ATP 250s? Do I go play challengers? How do you? I'm sure it's an open question, but how do you balance those things, and what does the schedule look like for you the remainder of this year?
Yeah, the main goal is try to play the biggest tournaments.
Sure.
So if I have the chance to play and get in something into the qualis, like a Masters 1000 or something like this, so I am taking the chance. But you also have to do it like if you're losing soon, like a couple of points, then it would be good that if you try to play challengers to maybe win a couple of points, either if you're losing it. So we are doing it like tactical. Like if I have enough space for winning points, and then we will choose a bigger tournaments to adapt for the future. And if there's some time where I will lose some points, then we'll go to challengers. So there's a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm. And just to follow back on something earlier, I'm curious because obviously you've had a ton of success on clay courts throughout the course of your career. This is going to sound silly. Do you just not like the hard courts? Because I was watching you hit earlier, I was like, yeah, the forehand works on both surfaces. And so I'm curious, what is it about hard court tennis that has you a little hesitant?
Honestly, I like hard court because I feel great, honestly, at hard court. Maybe I think I have the game for hard court, like my shots are for hard court, but it's also experience, and you must play a lot of tournaments on hard court, and even if on the biggest stage, the most tournaments are in hard court and the biggest ones. So I wish in the future I will play better on hard court, but honestly, in Europe there's not so many hard courts. There's more clay, and the most of the season I play on clay. So I think that's the main reason why I'm better on clay than on hard court.
I will accept that as the reasoning. I was going to say though, I agree with you. I think once you start to play more hard court matches, the results will come because certainly it looked impressive. Well, again, for you right now, 22 years old, top 175. I know there's only 3-4 months left in this season. Do you have any goals you'd like to accomplish for the remainder of this 2023?
Yeah, I will not put pressure on me, but
I'll put the pressure on you so you don't have to. Yeah.
But the main goal is always to reach the top 100. Sure. To try to play in Australia next year, the main draw if it's possible. But for us, it's always the main goal, to try to give the best and to raise our game, and if we're doing this good, so I'm sure that the results are also coming.
Yeah, I like to hear it. Well, then my last two questions for you. I'm going to ask these two to everyone. My first is, for those who haven't seen you play before, who are going to be tuning in this weekend, describe your game for tennis fans out there. What do you view as the strengths?
Yeah, my game is, I think, something in between defensive and offensive, like creating points, and when I have the chance to finish it. So, but my best shot is like the backhand. I would say like I'm famous for the backhand. So, I think that's it. But also I think I play like many shots. Like I play also volleys, slides, going to the net and stuff like this. So, I think that's it.
I like to hear backhand line. I feel like in particular when you open.
Yeah.
I was watching. I was like, oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
And so I feel that. Well, then my last thing is, again, being here this weekend. What are you hoping to accomplish at this Ellesse Pro Challenge?
First of all, to have fun with everyone here, and to reach a good preparation and a good feeling for the next week, and have fun.
Yeah, I like to hear it. Well, enjoy a few chocolate chip cookies as well. Trust me, they're well worthwhile. Filip Mislic, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome back, everyone. Media Day rocks and rolls here at the 4th annual Ellesse Tennis Challenge. I almost called it the Emke Tennis Challenge because, of course, we are at the Emke Tennis Garden. And being here, it's often important to say hello to the host. Thank them profusely for having our Cracked Racquets team. Of course, we also know this event would not happen without the tireless efforts of the man on my left. Joining us now for Media Day, Dave Emke. Dave, first of all, as always, hello, older brother. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
It's too sporadic how often we get to hang out, but appreciate you having us back. And let's just start there. 4th year of this event. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to your family to keep having this year in, year out?
Honestly, it's crazy. We did this on a whim year one and had no clue it was going to turn into something like this. But I think the biggest piece, for the family and having this is really what we're doing it for. It's a much bigger cause for the kids of Reading, and kind of having them coming into that zone with these guys and the core tennis program, and now Antietam, just makes it that much more special.
And it does feel like year after year you see more members of the community. I was telling Ryan, you see more sponsors on the board behind this. You see more active members in the Berks Tennis County Association showing up year in, year out. Beyond just what it means to the family, what do you think it does mean to this community? And again, to be able to have a signature event like this, it's got to be something nice.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Yeah.
And we've noticed this year that it's gotten out a lot more organically. We've sold a lot more tickets this year, and now granted we have a light system which is helping Friday night. That's going to be really cool. Get some after work crowd and get to see some tennis. So it's special.
It's funny to me when you say after work. I'm like, this isn't people's work. I'm like, they're doing real things all day.
No, not everyone gets to do what they love like we do.
Exactly. But you mentioned it, under the lights. That's a fun wrinkle. Talk to me about how it happened.
Honestly, it's Ryan.
Yeah.
Somehow I got a text like, "Hey, we can have lights this year." And last year was a line calling system. This year we've got lights. So, watching the install took about like a day on the sidelines, the fence, and we turned them on last night around midnight for the first time when things wrapped up, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we're pumped to have that to showcase that this year.
Yeah, it's going to be a delight. And I know, again, you talked about the causes this event is for. Talk to me about Core Tennis. I know that's something that's near and dear to you and one of the causes we support with this event. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, Core, it's a city of Reading in Pennsylvania. Historically, it's I think in the top 5 of one of the poorest, most crime-ridden cities in America per capita. It's a lot going on, and through my entire career in the tennis industry, I've been fortunate to be a mentor in that program. So helped out with a lot of after-school programs, before-school programs, getting tennis rackets in the hands of the kids in the inner city. And one of our donors this year kind of said the phrase that we want to arm kids with rackets and not guns. And I think that's really important, and I've seen a lot of success come out of that program. We have kids that have grown up to own their own businesses. They're in law school. They're getting their MBA. And honestly, this program is what got them to where they are. Not in tennis, in life.
Yeah.
And it's something that as a family we get to host it and do it, but also the platform of the Ellesse brand, that's what it's all about. Giving back into the community and helping the kids in the city get what they deserve. So that's why it's just all the more special.
No, I can think of countless kids who I grew up playing tennis with in my community, and it's still, even beyond any professional success, the lifelong friendships you make.
Yeah.
Those are the people you grow up with. Those are the people you remember moving forward. And again, that's why it's so cool for us to be able to associate with an event like this, because we know what you guys are doing for the community. You mentioned the Ellesse component. We're decked out pretty nicely
Looking
here.
good.
Talk to me about the Ellesse gear. Talk to me about what's up with you guys.
Yeah, no, we're Ellesse. It's a very historic brand, but it's been quiet for a few years and it's back now. We're going at it pretty hard from a grassroots level, going into academies and players, and really just trying to get that brand back to where it was when it was the brand. Obviously, there's a lot of noise in that space now, and you got Nike, Adidas, and Fila, and everybody. But Ellesse has been known for quality, and the designs are amazing. That's one of my favorite, actually.
Yeah.
That came out. That's why I wanted to put that one on you.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah. So no, I think the important thing is Ellesse is here. It's back, and we're going to get it back on the stage that it belongs on. And we're doing it through tennis and now pickleball and padel and all the different racket sports that exist and come up. We're going to be there.
I can't emphasize enough, and this is not just me buttering you up. You were fortunate enough, and we are fortunate enough. You were kind enough to send us some Ellesse gear. Anytime I rock the Ellesse hoodie, it's always, wait a second, where did you get that? And I go, well, I know a guy. But it's actually publicly available on the website, so check it out as well, or wherever you buy your tennis gear. Well, then, my last question for you as we continue Media Day, what are you looking forward to most this weekend? What can we expect? 4th annual, I was going to say again, Emke Tennis Challenge, but Ellesse Tennis Challenge.
Honestly, good tennis.
Yeah.
We got a great group of guys here. I'm so pumped with who's come this year. They're here to hopefully get some work in before the Open and wherever they're going next. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm pumped for the night. We'll see how that goes. That'll be good, and and I think it's going to be a good weekend.
Cookie counts at 6.
I've
been here for an hour and a half too, so it's,
that's slow. You got to pick that up, Gruskin. Come on.
50 a day. That's the rule. But again, Dave Emke, thank you as always for having us.
Our
Thank you
pleasure.
for taking the time to chat with us today. Media Day rolls on here at the 4th Annual Ellesse Pro Challenge. Alex Gruskin here with our next player on the list. We are thrilled to have Maximilian Neuchrist joining us here this year. Max, first of all, welcome to Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. How have you enjoyed your opening day? What do you think about the event so far?
Yes, I mean, I have to say it's an awesome setup. Like very warm welcome. It's really what Ryan put up here. It's a really great service. I feel really welcomed, and yeah, I enjoyed my day so far. Yesterday also with great conditions here, everything we need here at this private tennis court. So yeah, looking forward for tomorrow.
Worst ways to spend a weekend, I agree. And you know,
Definitely.
I feel like they gave you chaperone duties this weekend. They have you hitting with all the kids here. Like I saw you on court, it's one hitting session after the other. Is that just because, again, you're here to get some U.S. Open preparation? I felt like it was a long day on court.
Yesterday was quite a long day. It's true, with the kids clinic in the end, but to be honest, at one point also in my career, when you're a little bit older already,
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's nice to give something back and to motivate kids, and yeah, to keep on playing tennis. And yeah, of course, struggling a little bit with the jet lag still yesterday evening, but I managed.
Yeah.
So
No, I like to hear that, and I'm curious, a weekend like this, because for fans that don't know, the tennis grind never stops. You're playing 30, 40 weeks a year. You can even play into November, into December. What does a weekend like this in your schedule do for you? Does it act as a little bit of a refresher? I mean, I know you're here to play some serious matches, but what does a weekend like this do for you at this point in the schedule?
To be honest, at the beginning, before I arrived, I thought like, okay, no, it's gonna be some tougher time. I will like try to work and prepare well, but now I have to say it's really relaxing. I mean, everything is taken care of. So like as you said, we have a great service, we stay in a great place. We have great hospitality here, so it's really it's not vacation.
Yeah.
But it has a small touch of it.
That's what we were looking for here. I planted these flowers just for you, my friend. So I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying them. Well, you know, more broadly, I know you won your first Challenger singles title at the end of last season.
Finals.
Didn't win? I thought there was a
didn't
title
win.
there.
It was finals.
That's on me. Maybe there was a doubles title.
Doubles titles.
Yeah,
I have
there's
a few
plenty of them. Yeah, exactly.
But singles against Luca Van Asch.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Well, for what
Lost
it's worth,
in 3.
top 80 now. So a very good match. I'm just curious more broadly. You say you're old. 31's not old, so we'll agree to disagree.
32 already since 22nd of July.
Oh, I missed a birthday as well. This is good. I'm happy belated then, my friend. Talk to me about your level more broadly. How do you feel you're playing right now at this point of the season?
I feel actually physically good again. I had at the beginning of the clay court season, I had some physical struggles, to say, with my shoulder, which didn't make my life easy on the clay court swing in Europe. But I'm happy to play in hard court now again, and yeah, feeling good. Have no pain, which is not. I don't take it for granted in my age. So
Sure.
feeling good, feeling physically good, and yeah. I'm looking forward to get some good matches here before the U.S. Open.
No, I love to hear that. I'm always curious, what in your mind, because, you know, again, we watch casually, yeah, the ball bounces a little higher, things are a little bit slower. What's the biggest difference for you going from clay to hard courts? What's the hardest part of that transition?
I think the movement is the movement is different. I mean, you are directly connected to the court, so that means the power transition, every step has a different transition of energy through your body. So it's just like, I remember I had my first hit on hard court apparently on Monday, just before I left for the States. I had a decent 2-hour session, not more, and yeah, I really felt my whole body after it. It's and now after some sessions it gets better and better, but in general, for me, the movement is the biggest difference.
Is it, this is again just to follow up, is it harder or easier? Because people say clay is easier on the body. For me, I'm the exact opposite, where I just feel like I don't have my feet under me at any point. So you're slipping, you're sliding all over the place. At least on hard courts, I know, like, all right, if I'm stopping, I can stop. Maybe harder or easier is the wrong framing, but is it just it's harder on the body on hard courts? That's what makes it more difficult, it sounds like?
I would say, at least for my part, I would say the game on hard court is more physical, especially on the slower hard courts. And regarding the clay courts, I mean, you have big differences. I mean, you have like this really, in Europe, this really wet, thick clay courts where you have actually good grip, and also the game gets really slow and really physical. Or you have like dry clay courts. There you really
flying.
There it's tough to move. And so, but yeah, to come back to the point, for me, from my game, I think it's more physical on hard court.
Well, with that, in that spirit, my last two questions for you. For tennis fans who will be tuning in this weekend who haven't seen you play, talk to me about your game. What can they expect?
We will expect some good and accurate serving. Hopefully, we will see. And yeah, I mean, trying to dictate the game with my forehand or my serve. I love to come in to the net, and I love to cut the ball on the backhand side with a lot of slice. Yeah, try to play an aggressive game style.
And you mentioned this earlier, but are there any specific goals for you this weekend? Things you want to accomplish, things you want to feel coming out of this Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge?
To be honest, I just I want to get in some matches for the US Open. I had a really long clay court swing. Literally on Sunday I was still competing on clay courts, so I hope I get some good competitive hours on the court, and that's the main goal for me.
No, I love to hear it. You and Philip looking for those hard court debuts. I was saying we're going to have to put this on your ITF webpage if you guys get the wins, just to add up those hard court matches. But no, again, really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us, and obviously wishing you good luck this weekend. So thanks for sitting down.
Pleasure was on my side. My side. Thank you very much.
All right, everyone. Media Day rolls on here at the 4th Annual Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. Alex Gruskin here, joined by the only man more of a veteran at this event than our Cracked Racquets team at this point. You know him as a Division II legend in the college tennis world, but now we also know him as a man with an ITF singles title. That's right. I was following in November. If you think I wasn't, it is our dear friend KP Panu. KP, welcome back to our Cracked Racquets booth. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm great. Thanks for having us. Yeah, it's always good to be back at this event, and knowing that the Cracked Racquets team will be here is just the icing on the cake.
Yeah, no.
Couple legends.
Yeah, exactly. I noticed, yeah, I feel like you're 10 pounds slimmer than usual just because you knew we were coming. And
yeah,
so
absolutely.
I appreciate, my friend. Yeah, getting camera ready. But, no, I mean, again, I want to ask you about this weekend, but the big news, first singles title of your career last November. I also called your gas game match, which we'll get to, from January when I was at Tennis Channel, which just like someone's like, hey, does anyone know KP? And I was like, I know KP.
Wow.
Put me in the booth.
Yeah.
Which is a conversation for a different time. But first singles title had to feel good. Talk to me about the weekend and what it meant to you.
Yeah, it was amazing to do it in New Zealand as well. Just made it extra special. And that kind of rolled into getting the wild card into the 250, which was a great experience. And then, unfortunately, after that, I had Davis Cup where I got injured, and so now my stock is finally trending in the right direction. But yeah, it's just kind of have a new perspective now after kind of being sidelined for a while, and just really grateful to be back playing. not as much attachment to the outcome, and I think that's really helping me.
No, that's great to hear. I'm curious, not to again linger on this, but how difficult is that to know that it maybe not playing the best tennis of your career, but certainly getting those great results. You get to play the 250, you get to play the Davis Cup. For those that don't know, what happened with your body? You know, talk us through the injury, what that recovery was like.
Yeah, I essentially just have a nodule on my plantar fascia, which isn't the craziest of injuries and thankfully doesn't require a surgery, but just the nature of having an injury on your foot, it's tough to stay off your feet. So I could practice, but then I'd be limping around for 2 or 3 days. So really Father Time was the only solution. And yeah, it took 5 months, which, you know, it sucked, but everything happens for a reason, and I still have a lot of blessings in my life, so it wasn't the end of the world to me. But yeah, now that I'm back, it's just awesome, just making the most of everything.
5 months off court. When's the last time you had a gap that long? What'd you do with yourself?
A little bit of coaching, a lot of golf, which I'm still not very good at, but I love to play.
On the rise?
Yeah,
Much
on
like
the rise. Stock is trending in golf too, but not trending enough, let's say that. But yeah, I was able to spend a lot of time with my girlfriend and yeah, coaching a little bit of tennis, which was nice to be on the other side of things. And yeah, just kind of a lot of time to reflect. Was able to watch all of my matches that I'd played that were, you know, on the Challenger that had been recorded. So able to review a lot of stuff and compare it to what the top players on the tour were doing. And that was very insightful as well. So yeah, it was tough, but there was also some great things within that.
So I have to ask then, what did you learn from your film studying? What did you take away during those 5 months? Okay, here's how I'm going to approach tennis when I'm back to it.
Yeah, the main thing I noticed was just I would get too passive during bigger moments, and I would always start the match more aggressive and then become more and more passive. Not always, but predominantly as the match would progress. And yeah, that really stood out to me. And so that was one thing that I'm really focused on, just first to last point, playing the same way with the same aggression coming forward. And it's working so far. You know, I was able to qualify for Washington a couple weeks ago, which is probably by far the best result I've had. And I was just free. I didn't care if I won or lost. And I was coming to the net a lot. And at the highest levels, you have to take the points, you know, they don't miss, and they all have weapons. So yeah, just a learning process, but it was good. You know, if I hadn't had that time off, I'd still probably be grinding too much and digging too many balls out. So yeah, it's been good.
It's tough to be that athletic when you're like, okay, but don't rely on the athleticism. Try to be the aggressor out there. I imagine that's tough. What's it like dealing with that Gasquet one-hander?
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah, not fun.
As soon as I saw the draw come out, I was like, all right, let me just try to hit everything to his forehand. And then it turns out he has a great forehand too. But that was such a great experience. That was the first time I played in front of a packed out stadium of that size, and I learned a lot. You know, I really had a lot of adrenaline and I didn't handle it very well. So when it wore off at 3-all, 4-3 in the first, I was toast. I lost my legs. But it was just such a great experience to have. So thankful for the wild card, and it's going to help me a lot, you know. And when I was in DC, it wasn't quite as big, as many people in a stadium like that, but I was able to control my arousal level and my breathing, and just the moment wasn't too big. So it's important to have those experiences and just learn from them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of experiences, again, you're back here in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania, back at the Emke Tennis Garden. Talk to me about this event, this community, your past experiences, and, you know, again, what brings you back here this year.
Yeah, it's such a great event. It's so intimate. It's in such a beautiful setting. There's not too many people running around where it's hectic like it is on the tour events, or even some of the Challenger events. So it's nice, and the people are lovely. The Emkes are just great hosts. And so yeah, when Ryan offered me a spot, I couldn't turn it down. So I'm excited to get some great matches against, you know, a couple guys who will be playing US Open qualies next week. So just, yeah, there's no pressure, no points, you know, to really worry about. Just enjoy it and just keep building the game that hopefully can take me far.
I don't know. I would argue this even more so maybe than New Zealand is a home crowd for you now. So maybe there is a little home crowd pressure. But no, I guess then my last question for you, I'm asking this to everyone here this year. For those Cracked Racquets fans who haven't seen you play, who are going to tune in this weekend, describe your game for me. What can they expect to see?
I'd say crafty. I love to come forward, love to throw in a serve volley or a bit of a saber, even though I can't really pull that off. But yeah, just I guess expect to see some variety and yeah, me trying to sneak forward whenever and wherever I can.
I like to hear it. Over under 2.5 tweeners attempted this weekend.
Over, without a doubt. Come on now, Alex. You've seen me play enough to know.
Well, that's the tidbit for the fans at home who are wondering which match should I turn into. Always the KP Panu match. KP, appreciate you taking the time to chat. Good luck to you this weekend.
Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here live at Media Day of the 4th annual Ellesse Pro Challenge, and I am here with our contact, I should say, for Tweener lighting system, our new lighting system here, which will allow us to have our first night session in Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge history. Welcome on to Media Day, Nick Schultz. Nick, thank you for taking the time to join us. Talk to me about the lighting. Talk to me about Tweener. Talk to me about what we get to see this weekend.
Yeah, so basically, Ryan Narr, the tournament director, called me up and said, hey, we need some lights for this tournament. Do you have anything for us? And yeah, told him we could definitely do it. So shout out to him and the Emke's for having us. Basically, it's just a fence-mounted lighting system installed in between 9 to 10 feet directly to the fencing structure of the court. Can put it up in one day for about half the price of traditional high-mast LED lighting, and yeah, you're good to go, ready to play.
That sounds like the most Ryan interaction I can imagine.
Yeah.
Just calling and be like, hey, we need lights, and you're like, in. But you mentioned the accessibility. It's not just tennis court lighting. And any sort of fenced-in lighting, any sort of where exactly does Tweener lighting work? Because obviously it seems great for tennis, particularly in communities where you can't have the massive overhang lights. But talk to me about the application, not just tennis courts.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's designed for single tennis courts and banks of 2 tennis courts specifically. Obviously, it's really blown up for pickleball since it's kind of taken over right now. And we've been also reached out to by a lot of landscape architects for some landscape lighting, things like that. But yeah, like you said earlier, anywhere where you're unable to install high mast lighting for light height restrictions or light spillage restrictions, this is a really great solution.
Yeah, I didn't think about the pickleball applications as well. That's got to be a big one, particularly because there's less lobs. It's not quite as high in the air. I feel like this would be perfect for pickleball courts.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you can light up to 6 courts at one time as well. So yeah.
So now we're talking. I'm curious. Have you noticed in Reading, many in the Wyomissing community more broadly, a lot of pickleball courts emerging? Has that been a big demand?
Yeah, I mean, just driving through West Reading in general, I've seen quite a few tennis and pickleball courts all over the place. Our sister company, Fast Dry Courts, about 80% of their new construction is all pickleball. Okay. So, I mean, as everyone knows, it's really blowing up, and we're kind of reaping the benefits of that.
I'd love to hear that. Well, the obvious question, Tweener lighting system. Who came up with the name? It's a pretty good one.
So the system is designed and manufactured by a company called Next Lighting Experience out of Blois, France. a man named Florent Coyot invented the system. Shout out Florent, great guy, and he named it. So, like the between the legs shot.
Yeah, yes.
So
I've met the tweeners before. I've never met a tweener lighting system.
Yeah.
So
it's like lighting between the lines.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what he went off of.
No,
yeah.
I'd love to hear it. And again, for those who are curious after they see the lighting, they say, hey, I know some tennis courts that can't have the high LEDs. I would love to see how we can get involved. What can they do to get involved with tweener lighting system?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're trying to grow our distribution network throughout the country now. I think we have it installed on 120 courts at 47 facilities, 13 states. So looking for partners throughout the country. If you have a facility out there that needs lighting, please feel free to contact us at www.tweenerusa.com, and we'd be more than happy to help you out.
It's a really easy spelling, too. Come on, Tweener USA. If you can't get that one, you don't deserve to have the lights.
That's right.
No, Nick, really appreciate all you have done to support this event, and hope you enjoy yourself, my friend, because it's going to be a really fun weekend of tennis, so thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Extremely happy to be here. Thanks so much, Alex. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone. We're rocking and rolling here on Media Day of the 4th Annual Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. Alex Gruskin here. We have the opportunity, so fortunately here today, to talk to all the sponsors behind this event, and it really does take a community to make something like this happen. That is why I am so excited to be speaking with Aretes, our official tournament towel sponsors, Paul Mostyn. Paul, thank you for taking the time to join us here on Media Day. Talk to me a little bit about your company. Talk to me about getting involved with this event.
Yeah, definitely, man. So I'm an artist out of Philadelphia and tennis instructor, and I started a company making performance products where I print my art into the performance fabric.
Okay.
And I heard about the tournament and for the cause, and I thought it would be pretty sweet to make some towels for the event.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you. No, again, I like the gear right away.
Yeah.
So that's a fascinating thing to be talked to me about. The genesis of that, just again, what came first for you, the art or the tennis?
I started tennis when I was 11 and did the tournaments and all that stuff, and then played a little NAIA in Savannah College of Art and Design.
Sure, of course.
And then studied the painting and fine art there, and just stuck with that, and then sort of got into intersecting those two worlds.
No, I love to hear that. And Ellesse aside, because Ellesse is the best site for the best gear and the best designs, and obviously we appreciate all things Ellesse. Other companies, though, they weren't living up to snuff. Like, I mean, again, I've been a lifelong tennis player too. There have been fads, there have been trends. There are times where I'm not going to name their names and give them free advertising, but it feels like to wear some of those products, you have to be top 10 in the world. Otherwise, you're just going to look foolish.
Well,
has that resonated?
Yeah, I kind of thought that a lot of the stuff was like patterns, like crazy patterns just for the sake of crazy patterns. And it's like seasonal, and you put a pro in it, and then it looks good on them because they're fit and they're great at tennis.
Exactly.
But then when it's like your average guy on the court, it's sort of silly. So I wanted to have more of like a sophisticated color palette, something that's wearable but also different. And that's my kind of that's where I'm trying to work, is to use my creativity to make that happen.
No, I love to hear that. Yeah, anyone 6'2", 185 pounds looks good. Like, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. You're an athlete. You're going to look good. But no, that's fascinating to hear. And I'm curious how you got involved with an event like this, and in particular, what it means to have, 6'2", pros fly in at a local event in a local backyard.
Yeah,
what that
it's
means.
sick. It's high-level tennis, and like it's so first for everybody to know, this is at a house, and it's like an incredible setting. It's kind of
in
like
a neighborhood.
in a neighborhood.
It's worth noting.
I didn't know that it was going to be like this. So
okay.
I showed up and I was like, wow, this is amazing. You got the pros training, and it's really special. So because you don't see this sort of thing, and yeah, I got involved with it from knowing Dave and Ellesse being an amazing company, a heritage company for tennis, and I thought it'd be sweet, and it's also for a good cause to give back to the community. But yeah, the setting's amazing. I think more people should know about it to come down and support and watch the tennis.
It's unbelievable. The flowers, again, just the atmosphere. You're extraordinarily comfortable. We heard one of our players say it earlier. I thought this was going to be serious. Not that it's not serious, but he's like, but I feel like I'm partially on vacation because everyone's so kind and it's such a laid-back atmosphere. And so it's nice to hear a new face say that as well.
Yeah.
I don't think listeners believe me when I say it because like you're getting paid.
No,
But,
you got to come. You got to come and watch it and appreciate it. I'm looking forward to watch the matches tomorrow.
No, it's going to be really fun. Well, for those curious, again, talk to me about the wide selection of things you're offering at Arete. What can people get?
Yep. So we're doing performance clothing with natural fibers, tree fibers, and wool, and then I'm dyeing the garments myself at my warehouse in Philly. So each piece is made to order, so it's a unique custom piece. And we're also doing sport towels too. So you can see us at aretecomplete.com to learn more about it.
I love to hear it. Well, again, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, Paul, and I hope you enjoy the Ellesse Pro Challenge.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. Yep.
We're good? Cool. Welcome back in, everyone. Media Day rocks and rolls here at the 4th annual Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. And now we have a special guest, not Tournament Director Ryan Nahr. You guys know him. You're sick of him. But it's always great to get to speak with people from the community to talk about the significance of this event. I mean, for God's sakes, we're at a court in a backyard here in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania, and that is why we are thrilled to be joined by one of the leading coaches in this area. It's Antietam head tennis coach Bill McLean. Bill, first of all, thank you for taking the time to join us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course, talk to me about what it means to have an event like this in your community.
Oh, you know, it's amazing. You know, pro tennis doesn't just come to all that often. In such an intimate venue to see, you know, the up and coming pros play.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan, talk to me about this guy. He's going to be too humble to tell me his accomplishments. Talk to me about what he means to this tennis community.
Yeah, and you know, this is something, obviously it's a really special opportunity to help Antietam here this weekend with the Aces for Antietam, help benefit the Antietam high school tennis program with the flood relief and really help them out in a very difficult situation, help them get back on their feet. But you know, Bill's done an unbelievable job. I understand, I know what it means to have to build a tennis program. We did it from scratch at Conrad Weiser, where I've been for the last 10 years, and Bill's doing a lot of the same things that I did and we did those first couple of years, and it takes trusting the process. It takes 2, 3, 4 years starting something, planting those seeds, and Bill's doing some great things. Started a community tennis association. He's getting that stuff up and running, working with the USTA. Had already been looking before the floods to maybe get the courts redone, and you know, just getting that energy. And I think Bill, you can talk a little bit about it. Antietam's the smallest school in the county. And
We're
you're doing it, and it's a great thing. And I think this, hopefully this brings it back and stronger than ever to have that support with the pro event for Antietam.
like Ryan said, we're the smallest school in our county. We're adjoining to Reading and Exeter High School Township School District, which are, much larger than us. We're kind of the little guy in the room, and to get this kind of attention and notoriety and press for us is just something that it's hard to fathom. I started this tennis journey as just the dad of a player.
Sure.
And somehow I became coach, and Ryan's probably much too generous in his praise. And I'm just trying to do the best I can for my daughter and our teammates.
No, I'd love to hear that, and I know Ryan alluded to it a little bit earlier, but talk to me about what your community has gone through recently with this flood, and again, what it means to have something like this, to see the community come together to try to help get everyone back on their feet.
On Sunday, July 9th, we experienced a tremendous rain event, and the Antietam Creek runs right in front of our high school. Our high school took on feet of water and is basically unusable for the year. All of the plumbing, electrical, and all that stuff is basically ruined. Our community in that area, our school is basically in the middle of a neighborhood, so all those houses really took on damage, and immediately our community mobilized to try to help those people out and get them water and all the things that they need, and is still doing that. It's going to be a process for that. Our school is part of that process, probably the biggest part, and Antietam Tennis is just a small little sliver of all of what's going on.
Mm-hmm. No, and again, I'll ask you, Ryan, what it means to this community to see the people of Antietam get back on their feet, to see them continue to fight, what that means to everyone here in this area.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I said this once and I say it again. It's really something that I think we would absolutely do this no matter who was affected by this, whatever school it was. But I think there's that just a little bit of extra incentive with Antietam because, as Bill said, they're the smallest school in the county. And then to have that event like that happen. I mean, the governor of Pennsylvania was here. It made national news, so it wasn't something that was just a small event. This was a major event that was, very affected everyone. And I was in Europe. I saw it, and I had called Bill. And when I got back, then I drove down there actually, and I just kind of looked from afar, and it hit me, and it said, we have to, we want to do this and do it right, and give Antietam the resources and the help that we have as a tennis community to help them not only on their feet, but to give Bill and his girls and their whole program, really great opportunities, because they're never going to have a home match this year. They're never going to have a senior night. They're never going to have those things you can't get back. Hopefully we can reinvigorate that with an event like this, give them the chance to go with us to the U.S. Open next week. We're going to be taking Antietam with us on our bus trip. So really to hopefully put some smiles on some of the girls' faces and Coach Bill here. And
it's been a great week so far, and it'll continue to be that way. It'll be good until next Thursday, probably, when Ryan's team comes to visit us. That might be the toughest part of the week.
I can imagine. Well, then, let me ask you before I let you go here, because I appreciate your time, Bill. What are you looking forward to most in terms of the tennis here this weekend? What are you looking forward to seeing?
You know what? Two things. My daughter's going to be one of the ball kids, so seeing her in action is always cool for me. Secondly, I've never really been to a professional tennis event.
Okay.
So just my dad's coming up on Saturday, and he and I are going to watch the matches, and just being able to be part of that and just check out all of this here is really, I think, the two things I'm looking forward to most.
No, that's a good list. Let me tell you, it's a good place to start. Chocolate chip cookies is the third thing to add to the list. Trust me.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, well, at least 2 an hour.
Okay.
Like it just keeps everyone healthy. It keeps the blood moving here
Excellent.
at the Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. Well, again, Bill, appreciate you taking the time to join us. Wishing you and your community as much health, as much success, as much as we can here. And again, appreciate you taking the time to chat with us.
Alex, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. And Ryan, you're all right too. Thank you as always. Welcome back in, everyone. It's Media Day here at the 4th Annual Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge, and we are joined by the newest member of the field. Of course, some of you may know him as a standout player from his time as James Madison. We will all soon know him as a Wake Forest Demon Deacon. Of course, I know him as my friend Holden Kuhns. Holden, thank you for taking the time to join us here on Media Day. What is your, welcome to this event. What have your thoughts been here on day one?
Well, obviously, we got a beautiful estate here.
Yeah.
The MK Tennis Garden doesn't get any better than this. I've been here in past years as a practice partner, so I feel familiar with the area and the setup, and I feel very fortunate to have gotten the wild card this year to compete. And yeah, feeling passionate and excited to go at it tomorrow.
It's pretty cool. You go from hitting player to competing in the event. I imagine that's a bit of a thrill, and I know you've played some ITFs this summer and been out on the pro circuit, but to have the opportunity to compete with 5 guys like the other 5 in the field, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, no, this summer I really dedicated the time to trying to get some exposure to playing pro events. Got into my first Futures event, playing various prize money tournaments. To get to come play this one to finish my summer is an awesome experience. I don't think I even realized yet what kind of impact it'll have on me. To get a chance to take a match against one of these guys would be huge for my tennis playing career, especially for the coming year at Wake Forest. I'm trying to raise the level a bit to keep pushing towards pro tennis and these things. So it's the exact chance that I need to get there.
And for those that don't know, again, I think you played number 1 3 of your 4 years at James Madison?
My last 3 years.
Yeah, last 3 years, and all conference selection. Obviously, you've gotten to see the best of what college tennis can offer. I'm curious, when Wake Forest comes, I'm sure part of that's a byproduct of having that extra year of eligibility, but what was it about the Wake fit that you enjoyed the most? Was it just the tennis side? Was it academically as well? What brings you to Wake?
Yeah, tennis was huge. From the start, Coach Bresky stood out to me.
Yeah.
The history of
He'll do that.
Yeah. The history of the program also. Just to be a part of the Wake Forest tennis brand really stood out to me. I had a great experience at JMU, and I was eager to take it to a higher level, and Wake Forest will certainly offer that for me.
Yeah, no, I always joke around that should I ever need to propose to someone to get married, Tony Bresky will ask the engagement, because no one says no to Tony. And so that's why you always have him in. No, I can completely understand that. And, I'm curious for you, obviously, again, all this success at JMU, is pro tennis something you're eagerly in pursuit of? And
for sure.
So how does that extra year at Wake Forest help in that?
Well, I think going there and being a part of their program offers me everything I would need to get an idea of what that's going to look like. Their training schedule, the match schedule. They play a ton of matches in the fall and spring. I'll be able to travel and play hopefully some pro events in the fall. Stuff like this definitely stood out to me, just to get an idea of how this lifestyle works.
Yeah. No, I can only imagine what that's like. And obviously here, again, abbreviated format. There's 6 players. We're playing a little round robin. Tomorrow's definitely a shootout. Talking about, again, what you're looking forward to most this weekend. Have you had the chance to hit out here yet?
Not this year.
Yeah,
I guess I haven't in past years.
Yeah.
No, I actually live an hour from here.
Okay.
So I've been heading back at home some of my last days before going down to Wake Forest.
Sure.
So I've been trying to spend some time there, training with my brother and dad. They'll be here hopefully.
Yeah.
And no, it'll be a great setup. The court's in awesome shape, so will be good.
No, I'm happy to hear that. Well, then, for those that don't know, talk to me about the level you saw at JMU, because I know you were having a ton of success, obviously, throughout your 3-4 years in college. But, you've now played at the ITFs. Have you gotten to train down at Wake Forest at all, or will be going down be your first time?
It'll be my first time.
But I feel like you've been around the level now a little bit. I'm curious, how did the level compare at JMU? How prepared were you for all of these summer things?
JMU did a great job of getting me ready for these next steps. It's been a great process of growth over my 4 years there. Started off playing 3 and 4, worked into the #1 spot my sophomore year. Was fortunate my junior and senior year to go to All-Americans, and really got some exposure there. Regionals was always a good opportunity, and then Coach Secord down there also got me some good matches in the spring every single year. JMU, they just moved to the Sun Belt, a new conference, which is quite strong in tennis. Yeah. So playing number 1 against that competition was not easy. We'll see how it compares to playing probably lower in the lineup for Wake Forest, going 1 from there to wherever. So, yeah, it definitely helped a lot, and I'll always be grateful for my time there.
If you didn't have the 5th year, do you think you'd have turned pro after this past senior year? I mean, or like, when you knew you were going to get the 5th year, did it change your whole trajectory?
I think so. Okay. For sure. Just the extra time was big for me. I never was a highly ranked junior. Sure. Even going to JMU at first, I mean, that was a top option for me. Yeah. And to excel there gave me more options for the 5th year, and hopefully I can keep excelling there and see where it leads to next year.
Not the worst to get a master's degree from Wake Forest as well as part of the program.
Exactly,
right. The best of all worlds. Well, then my last 2 questions for you before I let you go. I was going to say before we move on to our next interview. I meant before I let you go. I've taken up enough of your time, and I'll get to do more so throughout the weekend. For those who haven't watched you play yet, how would you describe your game to our Cracked Racquets fans at home?
Left-handed.
Okay. I like the start already.
Yeah. That tends to be the guide for a lot of what follows. Love to try to stay on the baseline when I can, but willing to stay rock solid. Definitely like typical lefty patterns. Sure. Forehand crosses, serves out wide. Yeah. Those are definitely some of the go-tos. And just trying to be not a good word with my coaches and I had at JMU is be a street fighter. All right. Just be gritty out there. Whatever it takes. It's not always going to be pretty, so gotta
Don't
get it
be
done.
pretty, be gritty. That's what we say
there you go.
Okay. There we go. You'll remember that for the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, my last thing for you, and I know it's silly because you're not here to lose, but what do you want to accomplish this weekend? What's your hope coming out of this Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge?
I'd say my goal is to make it to Saturday.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, get through Friday, make it to Saturday, and then regardless, just learn some more about myself. What's stacking up well against the tough competition, and what are some holes in my game that I got to fix.
All right, well, that's what we will be on the look for then in the broadcast booth as well. But Holden Coons, appreciate you taking the time to join us. Good luck to you not just this weekend, but good luck to you obviously in your final year at Wake Forest as well.
Thank you, Alex.
All right, cool. Welcome back, everyone. Sometimes you'd say we save the best for last here on Media Day. Now, I'll let all of you be the judge, but joining us for our final interview here on Media Day at the Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge, a returning champion, a man who has been killing it, whether it was Junior Wimbledon last summer, his freshman season at Columbia. He makes a Challenger final this summer. It's our friend Michael Zhang joining us once again. Michael, first of all, welcome back to our Cracked Racquets booth. It's been a busy year for you, my friend. How are you feeling?
Thanks for the introduction, Alex. I mean, yeah, I had it's a pretty solid summer overall. Had a good time at Columbia first year there. Yeah, I'm just happy to be back here. It's a great event, and I always seem to do well here, so it's great to be back.
No, it's great to have you. I'm curious, after a year like that, what was the biggest surprise to you? Just the entire experience. What stood out to you the most?
I think the main thing that stood out to me was just how similar I feel like the level is.
Okay.
I feel like just any given day, all the guys anyone can beat anyone, and honestly, that just gives you a lot of confidence when, playing at a slightly higher level where, you might not think you can beat these guys, but then you just see all these matches going on, and your level's right there.
As that level relates to college tennis, because obviously you walk in, you're able to play number 1 for your Columbia team, you're able to be a top 20 guy all year long. Every instinct in my body says ask you about the Styler match, because it was one of my favorite matches I've seen all year, but I'm not going to. Don't worry. That was my one name drop of it. But how did you think your level translated to the top of the college game and, this summer playing at the challenger level? Do you feel like your game is right there?
Yeah, I'd say, especially, the tournament in Puerto Rico, I had a great run there. That gives a lot of confidence. And I think, a lot of the top college guys are, right at the challenger level. It's just a little bit of confidence, and, they win a couple matches and you have a breakthrough. You see other guys, such as, Cannon doing well. Elliott, number 1 in college, he's playing very well. A lot of those guys, the level is very close. And, yeah, I'd say, hopefully I'm right up there and with them.
I would put you up there. What did it mean to qualify for that accelerator, those spots, and have those extra challenger opportunities, regardless of, again, you make a final that first week. I know it's been a little tougher ever since, but to get that opportunity, what did that do for your game? What did you learn from the summer?
Yeah, I think the accelerator program was a great opportunity. I think it fast tracks your way. It allows you to play these challengers. I think without the program, you'd have to be essentially grinding. I'd be grinding futures for pretty much the entire summer, and then hoping to get my ranking high enough to qualify for some challengers next summer. So I think it helped fast track.
Was the plan always to play pros this summer, and will that continue to be the plan?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think coming into Columbia, hoping my game would progress and get strong enough where essentially I could play week to week and without my body breaking down. So that was the goal. No,
I love to hear that. This is going to be a stupid question. I'm warning you in advance. How's the school aspect of Columbia? Because so oftentimes we hear players go to Ivy Leagues, and we see this trend amongst tennis recruiting. And I'm not saying Ivy League tennis is bad by any stretch of the imagination, but so often you hear the academics of it all just wears these players down. And as much as you'd like to focus on tennis, it's like, hey, I got a bio test tomorrow. I got to get through that first. How do you find yourself managing that balance between academics and athletics?
I thought it was very manageable. Okay. I think you can make it as hard as you want it to be. All the older guys on the team help out a lot with, choosing your schedule. And, of course, the coach, Howie, has done a phenomenal job with helping the guys manage schedule, make sure we have enough time to practice. I think Ivy League tennis in the past couple of years has improved a lot. A lot of top players are starting to see the Ivy League as a real, gateway into professional tennis. So I think it's improved a lot, and I think the academics is manageable. I think it's not that different from other schools.
Are you a finance guy or pre-med guy?
Finance, probably.
Okay. Yeah. So I was hanging with Tim Wang this summer, and he gave me the full speech on it, and I was like, all right, Tim, that's enough from you. But no, I'm glad to hear that. And again, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. You might have been 4 years old when Nishikori made the U.S. Open final. Nevertheless, I'm sure you got to watch some Nishikori throughout the years. What was it like to play him and to face that sort of relentlessness from the baseline? Dare I say, I think that's something you try to do on court. What was it like to get a reflection of that and see that level, get to, dare I say, feel that level in person?
Yeah, it was just so different. I was playing so well the entire week. I was pretty much the one dictating most of the points, and then...
You played awesome that week.
Yeah, it was a really solid week. And then I got to the finals, and then I started off, I wasn't playing bad in the first set, but I was just wow, I just feel like I was getting suffocated. I was just running side to side. Honestly, just no time to counterattack. I feel like he just had all the answers. And then second set, I think he got a little bit tight trying to serve the match out, and I started playing a little bit looser. I freed up a little bit, got back into the match, and once again, these top guys, they just have different gears. He raised his level a little bit and then kind of just closed the match.
So what'd you learn about your game? What's the next thing you want to implement after a summer like this against the pros?
I think the main thing is I would say most of the guys are similar from the baseline. I think the difference is serve and return.
Really?
It's
Interesting.
one of the biggest things I would say. I'd say all the top guys that they have a great serve, either great serve or great return. And if I was serving really well down in Puerto Rico, which was one of the main things, but once your serve, my percentage dropped like a little bit. Those guys were stepping in. I feel like I was playing on my back foot all the time. Just I think that was the main thing.
So is it work on the literal serve itself? I mean, I'm sure to some extent it is. Is it the +1 patterns that they're more proficient in? Is it just the service game in general? That's where you see the maturity.
I think they get a little more free points on the serve.
Sure.
They handle the +1 a little bit better, and I think they're just constantly putting pressure, making you play on the return as well.
Because you're still 19 years old, if memory serves me correct. I'm curious physically. Like, did you feel like because nowadays you see, a guy like Yannick Hanfman's 31. He went the college route, took him a little longer. Now he's top 50. Mackie McDonald, I don't want to say it took him a little longer, but 27, 28, he's consolidated a spot. These guys have half, if not a full decade on you. I'm curious if you felt like you were at a deficit at all, or again, it's really just like, no, like just give me 6 months of playing at this level and I'll figure it out.
I think the physical aspect is
real.
Is real. Okay. It's I'm still like a little bit of a skinnier guy.
Yeah.
Most of the guys that I was playing are just like almost like twice they're my size. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the main thing, the physical aspect, is going week in, week out.
Okay.
It's just maintaining that level of physicality week in, week out. Because I think 1-2 matches I can hang in there, but if I have to keep doing it a weekend, by like 3rd, 4th week, I think my body will start to break down.
Yeah, we've heard this from other college players in the past, and I'm almost done with you, I promise. Traveling. After a year stationary in New York at school in Columbia, what was it like to get back on the road and like travel week to week for all these tournaments? Was it fun?
Yeah, it was exciting. I would say it started off really, really fun.
Yeah. Could have started worse. That's fair.
And then, I'd say by the 3rd, 4th week, you're by yourself. It's a little bit of a grind. You're looking for things to do to pass the time, especially if you lose early. You're just there to practice. But if you're doing well, I mean, it's great. But it's just you have to find rides. It's a little bit of a grind. But other than that, it's I would say I had a good time.
No, I like to hear that. Well, then coming up, obviously you've got the fall. You're the reigning Fall Mats consolation champion. I know how much that means to you. But I'm curious how much playing pro tennis this fall versus going back to campus, being with the guys at Columbia. Obviously, you bring back a good squad. What does your schedule look like for the rest of 2023?
Yeah, I would say I would look to play some of the challengers. I still have a few spots I haven't used in my from my junior accelerator spots.
Oh, because you get the junior as well.
Yeah.
Oh, best of both worlds, my friend.
Yeah. So I still have to use those. I'll try to use them all.
Okay.
And then I'll have to talk with Howie, obviously, manage the schedule. I hope to get to the point where if I do well in one of the tournaments, I can just take the other tournament off and look to play more.
Love to hear that. Talk to me about Columbia. How's the team looking going into this season? Because on paper, a lot of pieces.
Yeah. We don't lose anyone. Everyone's coming back. I think some of our top guys are playing well. As long as we can stay healthy, I think we have a real shot of having a deep run this year.
I think might be a top 10 season, not just for you guys, for Harvard too. Both you guys are really, really fun squad, so that's going to be enjoyable. For those who haven't seen you play, talk to me about the game style. What can they expect to see from you this weekend?
Yeah, I'd say I look going to be solid. Going to try to look for that forehand or the getting around the backhand, finding those forehands. I'm going to look to take the second serve early and then be a little more aggressive on the +1 after the serve and, trying to develop the net game a little more, try to sneak in a bit. And
are you going to see any serve volley mixed in? Just for
maybe.
The fun of it?
We'll see.
Just give me a little kick and give me a little point after you do it. That's because I'll know that one was for me. Well, I love to hear it. Last question, goals for the weekend. What are you hoping to accomplish here?
Hope to, it's this preparation. I think I got the U.S. Open qualifying wild card, so, this is great preparation, get some matches in, obviously hope to win, but, playing some against great players that are also competing at the U.S. Open, so for sure great experience, build some match, get some match toughness before going to the Open.
Yeah, I'll never forget watching you here last year. I called Colette Lewis immediately. I was like, why didn't you tell me? And she's like, I did tell you, Alex. And I was like, okay, well, now I know this rising freshman, Michael Zhang's the real deal. He's a rising sophomore now. He's still the real deal. Michael, thank you for taking the time to chat with us. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Thanks, Alex. Yep.
Georgia, Georgia. Oh, hey. Just an old sweet song. Keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia, Georgia, song of you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pine. Other arms reach out to me. Other eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful tree, I see the
Testing. There we go. That's working. Yeah. It's off. It's a little choppy. I think I am. There we go. There it is. All right. Perfect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have all of your attention, please. Obviously, again, food's still available. I know we're working the bar, but to all of you who are joining us here tonight, of course, welcome to a very special evening. It's the VIP and player party for the 4th annual Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. If you're excited for a fun weekend of tennis, make some noise. I can live with that. As part of tonight's program, we'll introduce you to the world-class players competing this weekend at the beautiful MP Tennis Garden. Perfect. All right, we'll try that again. As part of tonight's program, we'll introduce you to the world-class players competing this weekend at the beautiful MP Tennis Garden. You'll also get to hear from our event director, Ryan Nahr, plus members of the core tennis program to learn more about the impact the core program has had on their lives. Also, and this is most importantly, we want to introduce you to the amazing folks from Antietam School District and the Antietam High School Tennis Program. For those of you unaware, the school and tennis facility were ravaged by the catastrophic floods just a few weeks ago in Stony Creek. As such, we are so happy that as part of this Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge, proceeds from this event will be helping to raise funds to get both the program, the school team back on their feet for the coming season. So again, a really special weekend of tennis here at this Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. We're so excited all of you are here to join us. With that said, I believe we're ready to introduce our players. Do we have all 6 and we're ready to rock and roll? We have all 6, and even though he's tying his shoes, he's first on my list, so I apologize. We're going to start with our first player, no longer in transit, here from Florida, a former French Open doubles champion, former top 40 world-ranked singles player who has been a staple on the ATP Tour for over a decade, returning for his 2nd year at the Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ryan Harrison. Yeah, this is my best side, so now they all get to see it. Obviously, Ryan, welcome back. We're just going to ask, what's it mean to you to be back here? What are you looking forward to most this weekend?
You know, I played last year. Everybody was great. The MK family hosting everybody was fantastic. We had so much fun. We had a really high level. You know, I didn't win it, so, you know, it was a little bit of like trying to come back and redeem myself a bit. But no, in all seriousness, it's just a great event, a great cause, and a great community. So thank you guys for having me back.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome him back to Pennsylvania. Give it up for Ryan Harrison. Our second player is someone you all might know. He's a local talent and the wild card for this year's Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge, a graduate of Dallastown High School in York, Pennsylvania, where he was coached by his father, Mark. This player went on to have a standout career at James Madison University. He went on to win CAA Conference Player of the Year honors and is now setting his sights playing this fall at Wake Forest University, a future pro tennis player. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Pennsylvania's own Holden Kuhn. All right, Holden, you've been here as a fan in the past. Now you have the opportunity to play this event this season. What does that mean to you to have this chance to play in front of a home crowd?
Yeah, great chance to try to show the fans something else than being a practice partner, and eager to get playing and get back on the court.
We love to hear, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for our second player here, Holden Kuhns. And our third player is one of the top up-and-coming college players in the United States, a familiar face to the Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge, making his 3rd appearance at the event. This player is ranked in the top 540 in the world and finished as one of the top 16 players after his freshman season at Columbia. He also advanced to the finals of his first ATP Challenger this summer in Puerto Rico, getting knocked out by Kei Nishikori. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Michael Zhang. Michael, it feels like you hit puberty since we saw you last, but it's good to have you back here in Pennsylvania. I know it's been a busy summer. Talk to me what this summer's been like for you and what you're looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I had a pretty solid summer, so, hoping to build off that and have a good run here. And, thank you for the MK family and everyone for coming. Hope to show the level and, put on a good show.
We love to hear it. Well, don't offer any drinks his way. We're watching you if you do. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Michael Zhang. Thank you, Michael. Our fourth player is a 32-year-old and one of two Austrian players in the field this year. I know that's something Ryan Nahr is very excited about. He has a career-high ranking of 135 in the world, 13 career ITF Futures singles titles, along with 14 additional finals appearances, and 2 ATP Challenger singles titles to his name. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up and welcome to the court, Maximilian Neuchrist. Max, welcome to Pennsylvania. It's great to have you here. I know you've got U.S. Open qualifying on the horizon. With that in mind, what are you hoping to accomplish here this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thanks for having me here. It's really nice to be here, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah, for this weekend, I hope to show some good tennis to the crowd and raise my level on a hard court. And looking forward for some good matches.
We love to hear it. I'll tell you what, him you can offer all the drinks to. That much I promise, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up one more time for Maximilian Neuchrist. Our fifth player is a native of Wellington, New Zealand, and currently ranked 651 in the world. He's coming off of a lengthy injury rehab, but the former Division II NCAA national champion has had all sorts of success over the course of the past year. Of course, he's also a returning champion, and with his appearance here at the fourth Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge, he'll lead all players in terms of matches played at this event moving forward. Again, the pride, dare I say, of why I'm missing Pennsylvania at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for KP Panu. KP, welcome back. I'm not sure you ever left, but I got to ask, what is it about this event? What is it about this community that keeps bringing you back?
Yeah, I mean, the people here are just so lovely and welcoming. I know all the players have a great time here. It's not often we get to play in such an intimate and beautiful tennis court, so thank you to the MK family for having us again. And yeah, we're just excited for some fun matches and to put on a good show.
I asked this to KP during media day. I said the over-under is 2.5 tweeners. He said over. Come on. You guys haven't seen me play or what? So be on the lookout for that, and we always appreciate the chance to watch you, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for KP Panu. And our final player in the draw is our second Austrian and our top-ranked player in this year's field with a world ranking of number 163. Last year, he enjoyed a breakout season, making his first ATP 250 final in Kitzbühel in August 2022. He was also the top-ranked Austrian player in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome onto the court the 22-year-old Filip Misolic. Can I also just say, because they all were foolish enough to expose them, look at these ankle tans. This is just, ay, ay, ay. We have some pro tennis players amongst us, but Filip, I know U.S. Open qualifying on the horizon. What does this weekend mean to you? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Yeah, well, I hope we will get for the crowd a good show, and I hope I will get a good feeling and have some fun here.
I love to hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up one more time for Filip Misolic. And ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's give it up for the field at the 2023 Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. Now we get to introduce the more serious parts of this tournament, and of course, again, it takes so many people to make an event like this happen, perhaps no one more so than our tournament director, and the next person I would like to welcome onto the court. He's a native of Robinsonia, Pennsylvania, hope I said that right, in addition to many of his other accolades as a player, there weren't that many. The reigning National High School Coach of the Year and Tennis Administrator on the USTA Middle States Board of Directors as Senior VP. He has organized a number of world-class pro tennis events, including the Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge, the Madison Keys Court of Dreams Celebration of Tennis, and of course the King of Clay Pro Tennis Challenge coming up this Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for a man this event would not happen without. Let's give it up for Ryan Nahr. Our next guest is, we would like to welcome to center court, the members of the County of Reading, we'll go with the core, the core tennis program. Here we go. First, she is a rising senior from Reading High School, playing number 3 last year and having grown up in the core tennis program. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Haley Guerrero. And Haley, for this crowd, if you don't mind, talk to them a little bit about the core tennis program. Talk about what that has meant to you throughout your life.
Thanks to CORE, we were able to capture Reading High's first ever Berks County Championship. And CORE has really made the city a better place. There's a lot of kids coming up like, I want to play tennis. You get the opportunity. If I wasn't in CORE, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. And having this opportunity to meet the pros, play against the pros. So CORE definitely has shaped the city of Reading in a very positive way.
We love to hear that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Haley Guerrero. Our second guest is a CORE alum as well, who grew up in the CORE program, attending Wyomissing High School on the state champion-winning Wyomissing Spartans. He went on to play college tennis at the Division II level for Jefferson University, a successful architect, and also owner of the digital media company and co-owned Tennis LLC, Tennis Revolution. Welcome onto the court, Dan Trefoy. Again, there it is. Dan, I want to ask you that same question because, again, what we're here to do this weekend, as much as enjoy the tennis, is try to promote that tennis, try to build it here in this community. Talk to me about what that core tennis program meant to you.
So the core tennis community, what it meant for me is, sorry about that, now I'm close, is that it gives opportunities to people who usually not find themselves playing tennis. And I was one of the fortunate ones and many people that now I got to experience the game of tennis. You know, travel around the country and play at a decent high level, and it's brought a lot of big family, and I feel like this is a big family event here where you come back and you see everybody's face and you're happy to see them, and it's just a great atmosphere and a great opportunity to be part of.
Sharing that experience as well. Again, let's give it up for all of our core alums here tonight if we can. And our next guests on the court tonight are the members of the Antietam School District boys and girls tennis teams, including girls head coach Bill McLean, boys head coach Adam Neal, and athletic director Brian Lycona. We're going to go with that, along with players Katie McLean and Dominic Perch, who is also an alumni of the core tennis program. The Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge is thrilled to use a pro tennis event to raise money through the Aces for Antietam initiative to help raise money for the tennis program and help them recover from devastating floods that completely inundated, good word by you, Ryan, the school and the tennis and equipment nearly a month ago. If we can, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for all of our members from the Antietam School District tennis community. We're going to borrow you guys in 1 second, yes, but stay close. And then last but certainly not least, we're excited to bring something new to this Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge this year. We are excited this evening to have world-class lighting from the Tweener lighting system to bring night tennis to the M-Key Tennis Garden here in the 50th anniversary of this humble ground. We would like to welcome the sales manager of the Tweener lighting system, Nick Schultz, to join us on the court and say a few words to our special guests here tonight as, again, we get ready to get this Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge rocking and rolling.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Alex. Yeah, just wanted to say thank you to Ryan Nahr for finding us. Thank you to the Emke family for having us, and thank you to all the great sponsors and players involved in this event. We couldn't be more lucky to be here right now, and just feel super fortunate to be involved with this. So thank you all very much.
Absolutely. We are so excited to have this nighttime lighting. And now, again, ladies and gentlemen, there are so many people to thank, so many things that go into this effort. That's why I want to bring up our tournament director to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ryan Nahr.
Thank you, Alex. And shout out to the Cracked Rackets team, Westhoff, Gruskin. Dalton's coming tomorrow. Before I do, actually, if you want to interview Coach McLean and the Antietam coach a little bit and ask him a couple questions, I'll spin back to that. And then we can get ready before we proceed with the rest of the ceremony. We'll flip the lights on, too, and we'll highlight the beautiful nighttime tennis that we're going to enjoy here tomorrow night then. So I'll flip it back to you real quick and interview Coach McLean.
I appreciate it. Well, then let's bring up Coach McLean now, if we can. Coach, again, I know how much your community has been through to have an event like this to help, again, propel you guys forward. What does it mean to see this support from your community?
You know, we're the smallest district in the county, and it's just amazing to see all of this and, you know, the banners and the Aces from Antietam, and just all of that is going to put us in a place that amazingly will bring a positive out of a negative. Our program will be in a place that we never could have imagined before all of this. So I thank Coach Nahr and everyone involved to include us.
Of course, it is our pleasure. And what does it mean to this community to have a tennis event like this? Not just obviously yourself, but to all the kids who I'm sure will be filtering throughout the weekend.
You know what? I'd like to think that hopefully it'll get them to spur some interest in tennis, between seeing the great pros here who are playing. You know, that maybe someday that could be them, just like Holden. You know, that maybe they could be here too.
Absolutely. Well, the last thing I know everyone here is wondering, what can we do to support your program? What can we do to support your school? Because we know you need it now.
You know, that's I think the biggest thing we could use is just positive vibes. Our kids go back on Monday, which is not really far away, and there's a lot of questions that we have. My daughter and Dominic are both students there. I'm a parent as much as a coach, and a lot of things we don't know. And I think the biggest thing we could use is everybody's thoughts and positive vibes and prayers, just for a great school year for our kids and our staff. That would be the biggest thing I think anybody could do for us.
That is for sure the least we can offer. Let's give it up again one more time for Coach Bill McLean.
Thank you, Alex. Before we get to the next part here of our ceremony for tonight, if we're ready, Jeff, we'll flip the lights here. We're gonna illuminate the Emke Tennis Garden here, the 50th anniversary of this wonderful facility, 1973 to 2023. Originally a clay court facility, now renovated into the hard courts. Just around the time when the U.S. Open was flipping over to the double color surface, the green and blue. So, Jeff, without further ado, you can let it rip. Let there be light. So we are very excited to bring you night tennis here tomorrow night. 2 marquee matches at night that will be here. We have record ticket sales tomorrow night. And I hope you guys enjoy this, and this is going to be a special treat here as it gets darker to see the facility fully illuminated. And Nick, thank you to your team and your crew. Phenomenal job, and we love working with you guys and growing the game and doing a lot of positive things in the tennis community. The first group of people that I want to thank tonight is our sponsors. This event does not happen without our sponsors, and every year we help, really help a lot of people in this community. A different cause this year, a special cause with Antietam that I'll talk about in a moment in addition to the core program, but it does not happen without our sponsors. I could go through all of them, but every year it ups the ante a little bit more, and it's something that we want to continue to do. Dave Emke and I working 9 months out of the year to secure these sponsors, and I think they get it. They understand that this event is also, in addition to getting these guys ready for the U.S. Open and some wonderful prep work, the opportunity to showcase tennis for something bigger than just yourself. So it's a beautiful thing, and we're very thankful for our sponsors. I want to also thank our incredible staff. A lot of the staff is with me throughout the year at different events. Hits for Hope, they're going to be up in Orwigsburg with Mark Abel at the King of Clay event on Sunday. And just incredible. I can't say enough about my team and the staff that goes into making this an event, a success. So just a round of applause for our entire staff and the people that are going to work behind the scenes to make this event possible. We also have up here on the table some wonderful silent auction items throughout the weekend that our fans, our spectators, everyone here can bid on. We went a little bit different off the tennis path this year. We have, in addition to our Dominic team signed rackets, our Diadem racket and bag. We also have, I know there's a hot item right now, the Kelly Green Jalen Hurts jersey is up there. That's for bid. We have a cornhole set that is up for bid. We have some Miami Open gear that is up for bid. So check that table out. 100% of the proceeds from that silent auction will go towards the core tennis program, 50%, and the other 50% to our Aces for Antietam initiative. The next thing I'd like to do, and I promised them that we would not have them speak tonight, but we want to recognize our 2023 Hall of Fame inductees. They are the second family to ever be inducted in the history of the Berks County Tennis Hall of Fame, the Emke family. Now my guy KP here is going to get something if he's going to, my boy KP is going to come over here. Dr. Ron, Judy, Dave, if you guys want to come down here real quick, I promise you won't have to say anything, but we have something very special for you. Just in addition to the Hall of Fame ceremony in June, that we want to commemorate this with a one-of-one piece for you, and KP is going to bring that over here. So on behalf of the BCTA, we have a custom one-of-one Emke Tennis Garden framed picture with signatures from all the players. We'll get Ryan to sign it here after tonight, but a wonderful piece that hopefully commemorates. You have a one-of-one poster to commemorate your 2023 induction into the Berks County Tennis Hall of Fame on behalf of the BCTA. And now for the two causes why we're here tonight, and obviously Alex did a wonderful job interviewing Haley and Dan, who is a good friend of mine too, and we've done a lot with trying to grow the game, not just in this area but beyond, and these guys get it. And last year you heard from Ashley Ratana, you've heard from a number of people. Core Tennis is a really wonderful program, not only for kids that never were in the game, but to allow kids to grow through the game. From K to 12, Brian Warhammer is up here with Core. I know Matt Lubis couldn't make it tonight. He's moving his kids into college, but it's a wonderful program to allow kids in Reading to give them opportunities. So we will have different opportunities throughout the weekend to donate in different ways, and we will highlight those on court throughout the weekend. Our other cause this year that really came to light within the last month was our friends and family here with the Antietam tennis program. I know I talked to Coach McLean. I was over in Europe. I saw, what had happened, and it made national news, and the governor was here, and a lot of different things occurred, and it really hit me when I got back and I saw the devastation in person. I drove down there just to see it, and I know we had talked about trying to do some things with the courts and whatnot. But it really showed that why can't we take this to the next level? Why can't us as a community help? This would be something we would do for any program, anybody, but as Bill said, they're the smallest program in the county. There's a lot of passion and energy from this guy right here. I know what it takes to build a successful program and do it from the ground up. And Bill's doing a lot of those things here in his first year or two. He was doing that last year. He was doing that through the summer. A lot of the different things that it takes to plant seeds to build a successful program, he's doing. So that energy and that passion is there, not only for his daughter and the other kids, but for that community. So, you know, hopefully here this weekend we can take something that is a very unfortunate and negative situation and make it hopefully into a very positive opportunity to help not just grow the program, but help the school district get back on their feet and help with the cause. Just as a reminder, every ace that these 6 gentlemen hit tomorrow, the BCTA will be donating $10 to the Antietam Aces for Antietam Flood Relief Fund. The USTA Middle State section has stepped up for another $10 to match that up to $1,000. And I'm going to challenge 6 people out in the crowd here tonight. If you would like to jump on and pick one of these players and be the sponsor for one of these players, come see me, come see Dave tonight or tomorrow, and you can, for every ace that KP Panu hits, or Filip Mislovic, or Michael Zhang, or Max, or Holden, or Ryan, you can donate $10 for that player, with that player, and we'll take care of you. We'll get an autograph, we'll get some pictures, we'll do some neat things, and that will also go back with those 6 players. So we hope to fill that by tomorrow around noon when we get our second matches going and first matches and so on and so forth. I'm going to call KP up here again. We're going to do one more thing. This is really something that is special. KP is sponsored by a company called Diamond. Diamond is certainly an up-and-coming tennis brand. It is not, you know, super well known among the masses in the world, but I can tell you the hometown feel, the community feel, the way that Diamond is represented in the tennis world and the way it's coming in tennis and pickleball is really something that's special. KP, you want to talk a little bit about Diamond, not to put you on the spot, but we're going to make a presentation here in a second on behalf of the company. Just talk about what Diamond means and you know what it means to be your sponsor and how they've believed in you as an up-and-coming tennis player.
Yeah, Diadem has been huge. Like Ryan said, they're up and coming and not one of the biggest brands out there yet, may I add. But yeah, they're an American company, which I respect a lot. And the owners are young dudes who are working hard, and it's awesome to be a part of a brand that's not super corporate and that's personable. For me personally, I mean, they sponsored me and have helped me since I was ranked 1,500 in the world, which is very uncommon for a lot of these big tennis brands. And, you know, they plan on, and I plan on, you know, going the whole way with them. And so they've been awesome to me. AJ, one of the owners, is Ryan's good friend, and it's just a kind of full circle moment. And I think the fact that they stepped up for such a great cause here at this event is a testament to the kind of company they are. So yeah, go Diadem.
All right, so what we're going to do, KP, come over here. Bill, Dominic, Katie, Brian, come over here. We have something for you guys on behalf of the Diadem Sports Corporation. Again, I had called AJ up and I said, hey, we want to give our friends from Antietam something to help them get back on their feet, equipment, some other things for the girls team. So, KP, let it rip. We got some cases of balls for you, Bill. We got some hoppers. We got some tennis bags for the girls. And on behalf of Diadem Sports, it's a wonderful, wonderful gesture from them, and we're very appreciative.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we leave, one more time, let's give it up for our hosts, the Emke family. This would not happen without them. We appreciate them opening their doors to us, and we appreciate them having us back for a 4th year. That said, that'll do it for this portion of the VIP Players Party. Now, again, go bother all of these players. They want to hear from you guys. That's why they're here, obviously, to hang out and have some fun with all of us. Enjoy the food, enjoy the drinks. Tennis starting 10 a.m. tomorrow. 10 a.m. tomorrow for the tennis. We hope to see you then, and we hope you all enjoy the 4th annual Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge.